Hello there, welcome to the news on Nepal television. I am Rujina Rai, starting with the top stories. Senior-most House member Rana to administer oath of office and secrecy to newly elected members today. Ceremony to begin at 1 p.m. at Parliament building. Zelensky addresses U.S. Congress to a standing ovation on his first foreign trip since Russian invasion, says Ukraine will never surrender. WHO concerned over and club football back again after an exciting end to the World Cup 2022. Manchester United enters the quarterfinals of Carabao Cup, beating Burnley. Welcome back. Now we have the news in details. The newly elected members of House of Representatives will be administered oath of office and secrecy today. The elected members are Federal Parliament building amid a function in New Banesar at 1 p.m. Earlier on Wednesday, Rana was administered the oath of office and secrecy by President Vidya Devi Bhandari. Rana also has summoned a meeting of the Business Advisory Committee meeting at 12:05 p.m. today, noon, before the oath-taking ceremony. In the event that there is no election of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, or both posts are vacant, there is a constitutional provision that the senior-most member of the House of Representatives shall preside over the meeting. Spokesperson of the Federal Parliament Secretariat, Dr. Rosnath Pandey, said the newly elected members of the lower house have been asked to bring their certificate of election and address in national and oath paper in Nepali language for the swearing-in ceremony. The House members who wanted to take the oath of office and secrecy in their mother tongue were asked to submit the translated copy by 11 a.m. this morning. Similarly, a pin representing the logo of Parliament will be provided to newly elected House members, and a tea reception also has been scheduled in their honor. The domestic and international flights to and from the Tribhuvan International Airport TIA have been affected since morning due to foggy weather. TIA General Manager Premnath Thakur said though some flights landed at the airport this morning, both domestic and international flights could not take off later. Thakur added that with poor visibility. Meanwhile, meteorologists say the fog in Kathmandu since morning will gradually clear from the afternoon. The possibility of rainfall has also been, even though it was foggy. We have more updates at the side. Do stay tuned. A short break. Welcome back. You are on Nepal Television News. Now the remaining headliners. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has addressed the U.S. Congress to a standing ovation on his first foreign trip since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Zelensky said that against all odds, Ukraine still stands, as he paid a defiant wartime visit to Washington to thank U.S. leaders and ordinary Americans for their support in fighting of Russia's invasion. In his speech, Zelensky stressed that Russia has been using Iranian drones to attack his country, and he is pleading there will be no compromising with billions in new assistance and pledged to help Ukraine pursue a just peace. Biden confirmed a new package of more than $2 billion in assistance for Ukraine and promised another $45 billion. Biden welcomed Zelensky to the Oval Office on Wednesday, saying the U.S. and Ukraine would continue to project a united defense as Russia wages a brutal assault on Ukraine's right to exist as a nation. Hospitals in China appear to be filling up and concerns about fresh COVID-19 were hitting the country. The World Health Organization WHO says. Dr. Michael Ryan of WHO says intensive care units died of COVID on Wednesday, but there is skepticism about the disease's real impact. In recent days, hospitals in Beijing and other cities have been filling up as the latest COVID surge hits China. Since 2020, China has imposed strict health restriction as a part of a zero COVID policy. But the government ended most of those measures 2 weeks ago because of their significant impact on the economy. The major winter storm sweeping the U.S. this week may bring the coldest Christmas in 4 decades to parts of the country, says forecasters. The one-in-a-generation cold snap, which began in the Pacific Northwest, on million people are under winter weather alerts across 37 states. About 80% of the nation is set to experience sub-zero temperatures, including places as far south as Texas. Named Winter Storm Elliott by the Weather Channel, the Arctic blast is expected to deliver the coldest Christmas to the Midwest since the late 1980s, according to forecasts cited by U.S. media. Do stay with us for more international headliners. Short break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now the remaining international headliners. Croatia prepares to begin the new year fully integrating with the world's richest nation in an historic achievement 3 decades since the country's split from former Yugoslavia. On January 1, the small Balkan nation of about 4 million people, known for its stunning Adriatic Sea coastline and resort island, will join the free moment Schengen zone, where most European Union citizens are not subject to passport checks, and become the 20th century to replace its national currency kuna with the common European one. Croatian Prime Minister, finance ministers who were deciding our fate. To adopt the euro, Croatia had to fulfill, since joining the EU in 2013, a set of strict economic conditions, including having a stable exchange rate, low inflation, and a sound public spending. After EU finance ministers gave Croatia the green light last July to join the eurozone, the country's central bank had to conduct extensive preparations for the transition to the common European currency. The Chinese and Russian navies started a week-long joint exercise on Wednesday in the East China Sea. According to a spokesperson for the People's Liberation Army Navy, the Joint Sea 2022 naval exercise would involve operations like an area block. The joint exercise aims to demonstrate the determination and capability of the two sides to jointly respond to maritime security threats and maintain international and regional peace and stability, noting that it would further deepen the China-Russia comprehensive strategic partnership. 5 warships from the Russian Navy are taken part, including the Slava class missile cruiser Varyak, the flagship of the Pacific Fleet, and the Udaleo class guided missile destroyer Marshal Sinokiv. This is the 10th such exercise between the Chinese and Russian navies since April 2012, when the first was held in the Yellow Sea. The city's Christmas lights, thanks to an ingenious audio guide. The Accessible Christmas, or Navidad Accessible app, is now in its 3rd year, helping the visually impaired get a feel of the thousands of twinkling Christmas lights. A total of 33 A total of 33 points across the city have been given an audio description when the user activates the location systems on their phone. The app activates near the lights included in the application. When the audio description is played, it provides information about the colors, the size, and the sensation they transmit, and any additional information about its creation and its designers. Users are able to follow 4 guided routes around Central Puerta del Sol Square. To more updates before that, let's have a quick look into the highlights of the site. Moving on to sports now. After an exciting end to the FIFA World Cup 2022 held in Qatar, club football is back again. Manchester United blanked Burnley 2-2 in the Carabao Cup, also known as EFL Cup or the League Cup. Christian Eriksen to club football, netting a wonderful goals in 57th minute as Manchester United safely secured their spot in the quarterfinals of the League Cup. It was enough to earn United only their second home win inside 90 minutes in this competition in 5 years. Barcelona and Poland striker Robert Lewandowski became the latest recipient of the Golden Foot Awards at a star-studded ceremony in Monaco on Wednesday. Lewandowski's final season with Bayern Munich saw him finish the season with 35 goals, and in addition he also picked up his second consecutive European Golden Shoe. The Polish captain has enjoyed a strong start to life in Spain. We are almost at the end of this news bulletin, but before we say goodbye, quick reminders of the headlines. Senior-most House member Rana to administer oath of office and secrecy to newly elected members today. Ceremony to begin at 1 p.m. at Parliament building. Zelensky addresses UN Congress to a standing ovation on his first foreign trip since Russian invasion, says Ukraine will never surrender. WHO concerned over surging COVID-19 cases in China. Hospitals in Beijing and other cities starts getting overwhelmed. And club football back again after an exciting end to the World Cup 2022. Manchester United enters to the quarter. Well, this is all we have for this moment. Until our next bulletin, goodbye and namaste.